Yo guys, what's going on? It's Everseen here. I know I haven't made a video in a while, but I've just been a little bit busy. But anyway, today's video is going to be about some development tips. I'm just going to do 5 tips, kind of just like the last video. I think the tip videos are probably going to be really regular because there's a lot of little tips and tricks that I can teach people to really up their progress in their castle and make them progress a lot faster. So one trick, I actually just learned this. I don't think that it's intended. I'm actually kind of waiting for it to get patched. But basically, if you go to the Institute right here, I'll show you. And if you upgrade the Institute, so normally a lot of people will be like, okay, well, I need to speed the Institute or wait for it to finish upgrading before I can research. So it's actually not the case. If you go to the Dragon Challenge and you actually go to one of the Guardians here, so I'll go to this first Guardian. So this is the example I use. Basically, I'm going to challenge the Guardian and I'm going to lose. But, instead of backing out of the animation, I'm actually going to let the animation play out. And so what this does is it brings up a menu. It says upgrade troops, upgrade equipment, research technology. Later on, it'll show other, methods to go improve. But basically, all I'm going to do is click research technology, and then right here, and then I can just research whatever I want, and it's pending. So I really don't think this is intended. Actually, honestly, from this video, I think it's going to get patched. But I've been using it for now because it's really helpful. And yeah, you can have 2 researches going on. You can see at the bottom that they're actually working. And I'll go out of the Dragon Challenge now and show you on the Institute that, the Institute is still upgrading. So I'm going to speed it and just show... it's a little bit glitched here, but now you can see that I'm actually researching. So that one's researching and I'll speed that, and then the other one's researching and I'll speed that. So yeah, it's a really good tip. It's probably the most valuable one in this video, so I hope you guys like that one. And shout out to my boy Flats, plays with me in K429. He's the one who actually showed me this. And the cool thing about this is that I've taught Flats a lot of stuff about the game and about trapping and stuff lately, and then he just hits me with this super good tip that I've been using the whole time I've been in K429. So it's a good example of showing you what goes around comes around. So help people out. Alright guys, so for this tip, I'm actually going to show you how switching your skills while you're collecting on tiles, it actually doesn't affect it that much if you know how to do it correctly. So basically right now I'm going to show you me marching to this grain tile. So I'll speed it up just to show you what the actual time is once I get on the tile. So if I go on the tile, right, and I'm in assist specialization, right, so I'm not in development, and development causes you to actually collect tiles faster. So right now it takes 24 minutes to gather that tile, right? So if I go ahead and switch my skills to development, which I need to use some gems here real quick, and this is just a farm castle that I have in K429. So if I switch to development here, and you can see that I have grain collection speed, I have like 35% more. But if you go and look at the tile, it actually didn't change it at all. It's still around 25 minutes, 24 minutes. But if I was to recall this tile, and if I was to speed it back and then send it back again, so I'll show you in a second here. Same heroes, same everything, right? And I just want to show you that I'm in development mode, right? So now I'm going to go back to the tile, and it'll actually have less time to collect, because this is a grain tile and I have the grain collection modifiers. So now it's 18 minutes. So now what you can do is once you're in development mode, I can go and I can switch my skills, right? And I'll go switch to assist. Maybe I'll go train some troops with assist, but I want to stay collecting with the better speed, right? So you can see right there, the time didn't change at all. So if you have free skill switches, or if you're just like you want to use the gems anyway, you can do this and actually have, you can collect a lot quicker. So if you're doing this every single time you collect, think about how much time that compounds over time, and you're just like collecting a lot quicker. So yeah, it's a really good tip. The only reason why I want to mention this too is because it was actually changed from the old way. So Rock, they actually fixed the game where before, when you were to switch your skills on tiles, it would take your current skill switch, but now it gets snapshots. So this, like, whatever specialization that you're in when you march to a tile, that's what gets snapshotted, so you can switch in between. Because before, people would send to a tile in development mode, and then they would switch to assist, for example, and they would come back like short on the tile. They wouldn't clear the tile. So there were tiles just everywhere that weren't collected to the full amount, even though those people were sending to collect the full amount. Alright guys, so for this next tip, like, I've been seeing this like a crazy amount for, over a year now, since the auction house has actually come in the game, but players really overspend for items, and I want to like show you guys how you can not get trapped into spending more gems than you really should for items. Like, I don't have an example right now since the auction house isn't active in my new kingdom, but in this old kingdom I'll show you that this person, Death Machine, he bought 100 strengthening stones for 1800 gems. So what a lot of new players don't know, and what they will do, is they will bid past 3000 gems on this. So right now, Death Machine, he got a good deal on 100 strengthening stones. And the reason why I know it's a good deal is because if you go to your bag, and then you go to the store, and then you go over to where the equipment pieces are, you'll see that strengthening stones, each one is 30 gems. So if I'm to type in 100, normally you would pay 3000 gems, right? But a lot of people in new kingdoms, they'll actually bid like 4000 gems, 5000 gems for something that they could simply just go into the store and buy for the correct amount of gems. So I see this with strengthening stones, I see this with keystones all the time. Like, keystones is 100, right? So 5000 gems is what you would normally pay. So you don't want to pay more than 5000 gems, because what's the point, man? And I also see this with like VIP points. There's one in the auction house that gives you 5 of these, and 5 of these to buy in the store is 5000 gems. So if you're going over 5000 gems for this, you're essentially ripping yourself off for no reason. Like, just let it go. You don't have to bid for it. And I see this countless times in the auction house. Like, it's actually very frequent, and I don't really have an example to show you guys, but just go look at any new kingdom, or even just go look in your own kingdom, and people are bidding an insane amount of gems for this stuff. Like, the only thing like I know is that those are the deals like from the store, right, that I'm showing you. But then there's also these forge stones, like 100 of them are 20,000 gems. So I pay a little bit more for these because these are really important, and they're also really hard to get. So if you're like bidding on something like this in the auction house, and maybe you're going up to like 10,000 gems or something, just keep it in the back of your mind that you're actually getting a 50% discount in actuality. So it's more worth it to do that than to speed through, if you're upgrading your equipment and you're short, and to just click gems, because you're gonna pay a lot for this, man. Like, this, I've found that forge stones, like, I've been able to get insane deals on this stuff. Like, buy 100 of these for like 6,000-7,000 gems, and it might not actually be 100. I might be wrong. I can't remember the exact quantity that it is in the auction house, but anyway, nonetheless, this is a super good tip to keep in mind, because don't rip yourself off, man. Let other people rip themselves off. Alright guys, so for this next tip, this is actually a tip that an old friend of mine gave me, Phil Dangs from Cave 129. This was a long time ago he showed me this, and basically it's to make it so training troops is a lot easier. And conscriptions, a lot of people don't know that they actually stack. So if I use one conscription, like here I'll use 1500, and it adds 1500. So just for the sake of showing T1 troops, I'll do them and then speed them. So right there, 9430 was the buffed amount, right? So normally you'd speed through it, and then you'd get back and it's 7930. So now you don't have the buff anymore. So now what you can do is actually just spam use these. So I'll use 1, and then I'll use 2, and then I'll use 3 and 4 and so on. So on training day, like those 8 that are down there, these 8, I would use all of them at once, because I know how much I got to train. So it's like, instead of training, then going back to your bag, then training, then going back to your bag, now it saves you time. Because if I go like this and train, so you can see I've got the 9430 buff down in the bottom, and I'll train these ones and I'll speed them, and then I'll go to train again, and it's 9430 again. So I used, what, 4 of them? So basically, I can go through this process 4 times before I actually have to use conscriptions again. So it's a really good tip. You know, it just saves you a little bit of time and it's less tedious. A lot of people think that it doesn't work, and a lot of people also have a misconception that conscriptions actually stack, and they don't. You can stack them, like use them together, but they don't actually stack. Like here, so that was the 4th time, the 4th conscription. So now I'm going to go back into training, and you can see that it's at my default size, which is 7930. Alright guys, so this is my castle in 429. Just to start off, I want to say that I did this castle without using any money at all. I wanted to make a challenge for myself to see how far I could actually progress using all the tricks that I know without spending any money. So you can see in the premium mall, I haven't spent a single dollar on this account, and I'm C26, and all I need is a little bit of resources and I can start C27. So with that being said, now I want to go into what I really think is important for new players. This is going to be a tip for you guys, is to do your quests. Your quests are so important. Just the regular recommended quests. You can also get a lot of resources and gems and XP and knowledge potions. I just haven't done those ones. I mean more the bulk of the actual rewards you're going to get. Like, you know, doing the monster quests, all of the monster slay, like, you know, 3 level 16, then slay 5 level 16. As you progress, those quests really add up with a lot of EXP, a lot of gems and resources. And another thing I do too is I use a farm castle to attack my main castle with 1 troop, and basically I can do the defensive quests. So right now the defensive quests are all complete for me, but when I was doing it last night, my latest defensive quest that I just beat gave me around 6,000 experience points, about 500 gems, and 1 million of lumber and grain. So you can't beat that, especially when you're doing this stuff for free. Just focus on trying to do your quests. One thing I've been slacking on is actually slaying monsters. This quest line also gives you a lot of XP. And, you know, experience points are going to be your biggest friend in a new kingdom. Like, I'm level 38, almost 39, and, you know, I'm playing for free here. A lot of these people are ahead of me are, you know, spending a decent amount of money, but I'm keeping up because I decide to do all of my quests. I decide to try and get as much XP as I can, except for monster killing, because, you know, let's face it, I'm kind of lazy and I have multiple castles to play, and, you know, killing like 500 monsters a day is not realistic for me. If it was, you know, you can jump a lot higher in Lord level. So, you know, I'm rank 32, let's just go look. So 38, you know, most of the people around me have actually spent some money. I also got a bit of a shortcut because when we jumped to this kingdom, I was already level 20 before the kingdom even opened. You know, I could do a separate video on how to do a successful kingdom jump and, you know, how to increase your lord level and stuff before you actually go. But, you know, doing the quest line is super important. I just want to stress that. So do your quests. You know, siege victories is another easy one that you could do with a farm. You could just attack 1 troop at an empty castle, like, you know, a farm castle. You'll win every single time. You know, just keep going, keep going. You get 800 XP, 85 gems, 200k of each resource, and then you just do the next quest, and you keep doing them, and you keep doing them, and eventually, like, all this stuff adds up. Like, just from the defensive quests alone, I've probably gotten, you know, over 20 million resources of each, plus, you know, a lot of XP to go towards my lord level, and then a lot of gems. So I hope these tips kind of helped you guys. I don't really have any other development ones that I can think of right now, except, you know, exclusively like event tips and stuff. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys can take some of these tips and use them for yourself. And I actually just hit 1,000 subscribers, and I just wanted to thank you guys. I might do a video for it. I don't really know. I don't really have any ideas. I'm kind of like, you know, at this point, it's kind of like a video block where I don't really have many ideas right now, and I'm kind of busy with other stuff, busy playing in this kingdom, that I just, like, you know, put all my time pretty much to that for now. So yeah, guys, just do all that great stuff. Like and subscribe and join my Discord and stuff. I hope to actually put some more info there. I keep saying that I'm going to put more info in the Discord, but I keep, you know, procrastinating because I'm a master procrastinator. So yeah, guys, see you guys in the next video.